Hola! People are they got the right link. Woo! I'm so happy. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Did you hear my music I was playing?
No.
You didn't hear my music?
I didn't hear the music, Sky.
Oh, I must have just turned it off.
Okay.
But it's all good.
All right.
Ooh, my hair is a mess. Anyway. So, looks like we have Lourdes. And make sure you mute yourself, please. So, right now it looks like we have Lourdes, Kristopher, Patrice, Miniel, Jeff, who else? Claire from Australia. We got some new faces. I haven't seen these faces yet. Some of these faces are new. So I guess we'll wait another minute. Let's see. Let's just ask folks where they're from. Jeff, you've muted yourself, but can you unmute and tell us where you're from and how you feeling and what brought you into this? Unmute. Jeff, you heard. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Okay, so we'll move forward. You might be talking, but I can't hear you, so it might be your audio. Lourdes, are you able to identify yourself and tell us where you're from and what have you?
I'm from Brazil, and I'm feeling fine. My English is not that
good. So you're on your day of water, right?
Yes, day 3. And did you hear I'm from Brazil, from São Paulo?
Yes. Okay, welcome.
And thank you.
What time is it there?
It's 11. We are 1 hour ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Thank you. Jeff, were you able to get your mute? Make sure you mute yourself back.
I will.
Remute. Let's see. Jeff, I don't think he can get his. Patrice. Have we seen? Yes, we know Patrice. Patrice is back. Miniel. Miniel, that looks like a new name. Can you unmute and identify yourself? Do you know how to unmute Miniel? All right. Well, we'll come back to you later. So, Christopher, let's just hit it since the time is right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me clearly from here? Can you guys hear me clear? Just do a thumbs up would be great. Okay, I got one. Day 3 represents the final frontier before we cross over into ketosis. Usually day 2 and day 3 are the toughest days in an extended fast. So I'm sure most of you probably went through it yesterday, or if not, you're probably going to go through it today with regard to the detox symptoms and your body shifting. So just hang on. Today represents the last day before we go until you're able to feel a little bit better going through this journey. Okay? And I just want to encourage you guys the importance of endurance and just taking it one day at a time and not really looking all the way to the end. Just take it every day as it comes, because you're liable to run into some discouragement. Like, we're on day 3 and we're like, man, we still got, 18 more days to go, 18, 19 more days to go. But if we take it one day at a time and keep our eyes on our individual and collective goals, we'll be fine. Okay? So, again, congratulations for not only just being a part of the group, because fasting will change your life. It's the highest level. You'll never get higher than this, especially water fasting. And I exhort everybody to plug into these calls and get the motivation, inspiration, and above all, the information that you need. Because this is the great thing about being a part of my fasting group, of this fasting group. You're going to get information that you're not currently getting. I'm going to give you more stuff than you can bargain for. You're going to get wisdom cues from a high level. You're going to get. So I'm not just going to talk to you about just the fast, but a lot of things that relate to the fast and things that really affect our lives that most of us may not have ever known. So you're going to get a little bonus. This is what I do. So I feel good about that. Also, I want to take a few minutes just to talk about. I've identified 10 primary benefits of water fasting. 10 primary benefits of water fasting, so that this will just, you can add this to your list of benefits, even more so to motivate you to carry on and follow through. Okay, I wrote them down on the list so that I wouldn't forget any. Also, you know what, before I even go on, I want to make mention of, has anybody, well, I'll ask this later, but if you haven't already, will experience having bad dreams and nightmares. And if you do, all that is toxins or toxicity flowing through your brain. Your body's going through detox. So whenever you have a bad dream, or if you have a nightmare, or you ever have a dream where you're falling and you wake up just before you hit the ground, it just means that those are just toxins running through your bloodstream, and they've hit your brain. That's all a nightmare is, okay? And it's your body filtering out the evil, the wickedness, the negativity, the parasite venom, and everything that dwells within the human house. Here are 10 benefits of water fasting that I highly exhort you to keep in mind. Ready? Number 1, experiencing internal cleanliness. Now, let me tell you something. Very few people, most people don't really know how that is, because most people have never fasted before. I asked my dad, Reese, I said, Dad, my dad is 65 years old. I said, Dad, I've been doing this for about 10 years now. I said, Dad, how many days have you fasted in your life? He said, son, fast. I've never missed a meal ever. Wow. And that's normal. Most people have never fasted before, so they don't understand what it feels like to be clean on the inside. And they will live and die without ever knowing how it feels to be really clean, to be really alive. Okay? So that's number 1, internal cleanliness. There's no other way to clean your body than fasting. It's the only way. It takes about 2 minutes to clean the outer, which is when you take a shower or whatever, but it takes time to get on the inside. You got to strip through veils to get on the inside of your body, to unlock hidden information and to get rid of the darkness that dwells in each and every one of us. So internal cleanliness is really at the top of the list. Number two is an extraordinarily high energy and mental clarity. Your energy is going to go through the roof. Well, the first 10 or 11 days is going to be a roller coaster. There are going to be some times you're going to be high, and there are going to be some times where you're going to be low. But as this process progresses and we get to the second week and ultimately the third week and then beyond, your energy is going to be higher than it's ever been, man. It's going to be so high. You're going to be so happy and thrilled that you gave yourself this gift. Fasting is the gift that keeps on giving. This is what I've committed to for myself during this fast. I wasn't going to say it, but I'll tell you. Instead of 21 days or 28 days, like I guess like most of us are going 21 on water and stays on the juice, I'm going a full 40-day cycle. I'm going 21 days water and 19 days of nothing but living juices, or the blood of juices, or some people call it the blood of Jesus. But here's another thing, so you guys can stay encouraged. My first 3 days are going to be air, and air only, dry. It's a dry fast. Okay, I'll get into the benefits of a dry fast later, but I'm just telling you because sometimes it's easier when you tell people your commitment to keep it, and it holds me accountable, and maybe it encourages yourself. Because right now, for the first 3 days, at least you get to drink water. I'm inhaling air, or pure prana, constitutional prana, in the desert. So I exhort you. Okay. Number three, this is to me, this is the most important part of doing extended fast, and this is so true. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to do what? To preach the good news to the poor. The purpose of fasting and doing water fasting is so that we can be rich, so that we don't have to struggle financially. The primary purpose of this, and what you guys will see after this or after you break through, is the financial breakthrough that comes on the other side of this, okay? I've experienced it in my own life, man. You know, fasting is a way to create a lot of finances so that you don't have to go into the world and sell your soul to make money or give all your time just to make money from the world system. That's the secret. That's why the wisest men and women did extended fasting, so the universe could be their source. Okay? That's what it is. That's like a main secret that very few people who know, but most people don't. I'll give you a quick testimony so you can just bear with me. Like, before I came to Arizona, I needed a car, right? So guess what I did? I did a 3-day dry fast. Now, this worked for me, so I'm just saying, this is my own testimony. I did a 3-day dry fast, and 2 weeks later, I had a brand new 2005 fully paid for Corvette to come to Arizona in. No strings attached. Okay, it was a financial miracle, and I knew it was going to come. And I can go on. I've had many of those type of things, but that's a biblical, scriptural life scenario. That's what fasting is, to preach the good news to the poor. What's the good news? The good news is fasting. News, north, east, west, and south. What is the good news? The gospel. What is the gospel? The God spell. You put yourself on the cross, the ancient alchemy of air, fire, earth, and water. Fire meaning sun, the indestructible day star, the great father of all living things. And you just drink water, but you have to do it for a period of time. 1 day is not enough. 2 days is not enough. Okay? And I can go into more, but I don't want to take too much time on the call, but I just want to say, the purpose of doing this fast is for abundance in every aspect. And most of us need financial abundance. This will get it. That's the secret that they don't want you to know about. Okay? But you're going to have to put your flesh on the cross of the good news. Number 4, uncommon favor with people. You will see as you go through this process that people will start giving you favor. You'll start getting things, good things will start happening to you. You know, things will start lining up with you. You'll become more lucky, or as we call it, more Lucifer. Okay? The word Lucifer means lucky, the lucky one. His wicked brother, Satan, means setting or darkness. But Lucifer means lucky. Okay? You'll become more Lucifer or lucky throughout this process. Okay? Just by purifying the temple of God or your body. Okay? Now, fasting will break yokes and generational strongholds from your life. That's another benefit. Number six.
Wait,
fasting.
Can I interject?
Sure.
Sorry. I wanted to add to the Lucifer because I know a lot of people get scared when you say stuff like that. But Lucifer, when you look at it, the word lucid, Lucifer is also the light bearer. That's what Lucifer means. Anyway, that was it.
Okay, thanks, Scott. Yeah, I know, because I used to be like that also. Please don't mention who what, because we were conditioned to say, oh, that's the bad guy. It's, he's, but yeah, thank you for saying that. Again, number 6, fasting is the gospel. The gospel is the good news. Number 7, extended water fasting will cure the incurable. Fibromyalgia, MS, ALS, every disease can be healed through fasting and living temple work. Every disease can be healed through fasting and living temple work. Remember that. Remember, guys, fasting will grant you freedom, peace of mind, and a greater self-love. You'll start to be able to love yourself and to love others unconditionally. And there's no other way. There's no better way than fasting, because as you go through this process and you experience the peace and the freedom of being able to have dominion and control of your life, where everybody else is still eating, and you finally get out of that. You get out of that trap of always eating and putting things in, offering up offerings into the temple. It's a lot of power. Fasting is powerful. Fasting will extend your life. You'll live longer, okay? And you can determine that. We've got that power. The human body is our spaceship through life. The human body is our spaceship. We haven't even begun to scratch on everything that we can do. So I encourage that. I'm giving you guys bonuses, so take the wisdom that I'm giving you. This is bonus, okay? I don't have to talk about this stuff. I can just get on here and just say, hey, go for it. Keep fasting. You're a stud. No, I want to give you some gems and some wisdom so that you can apply it, so that you'll know and sort of move you out of the matrix a little bit more. Extended fasting will enable you to start. This is one of the most important things. Now get this. Extended fasting will enable you to start uptaking more hydrogen than you do oxygen. Listen to this. You got to strip through the veils of your body and unlock the mysteries. The word oxygen means acid maker. The word nitrogen means spark maker. And the word hydrogen means what? Water maker. If you look into the heavens, all of the heavens is mostly hydrogen. The higher you go, the more hydrogen is up there. Everything is all hydrogen. That's why there's no old age or decay in the heavens. The stars, stardust, or hydrogen. The more you fast, the less oxygen you start to uptake, and the more hydrogen you uptake, and that's going to extend your life. Your cells become more immortalized. They become, because you're going to detect, no matter how great your diet is, if you're still uptaking mostly oxygen, that's the acid maker. Sooner or later, you're going to recycle out and have to come back here. So those are just 10. Those are just 10. Benefits, but there's more. I can give you 30 benefits of fasting. I'm just giving 10 just for the sake of time and to get a really good Q&A if you guys have any questions. And I'll wait. You know what? I'll take some questions now, because sometimes I feel like, man, they're probably tired of listening, talking to me. I got something else. I want to talk about the number 13, but I'll wait on that. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make a comment about what someone said yesterday. I think the guy's name is Dr. Love, and he mentioned that he kind of prayed over the water and asked for the things that he wanted, and kind of made the fast easier for him. So I experimented with that, and I took a tall glass of water, and I asked for fasting longevity and asked for some comfort and some ease. And I had the easiest night I've ever had in fasting. I went on to research it some more. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a Japanese doctor named Dr. Emoto
Yeah.
who talks about structure in water. When people see bad things in the presence of water, the crystal structure changes. When they see pleasant things, it changes into another compound. And it seems, the conclusion that they're drawing is that water has a consciousness. or it functions as a spiritual supplement. You know, I'm still researching it. You know, but I wanted to kind of put that idea out there because it made a big difference last night for the team. And well, I wish that guy was here. I would thank him if he was online. But I think that's an area we need to pay attention to. What do you know about that? Have you come across that before? The structuring water and that sort of thing.
I have done the same thing, and it's been working for me too.
Okay.
And I heard about Dr. Emoto as well. I know all about that. Water is definitely living.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to say that I wanted to say that when he mentioned that, that changed the game for me as well, because I felt like um, it put more power into the water. And for those of you who missed what he had said yesterday, the recording is there, but basically what he said was like what Marcus said just a while ago, is he spoke to the water, and he almost like you make a prayer or set an intention into the water before you consume it, and then consume it. And instead of being hungry and, oh my gosh, I didn't eat nothing today, and all these things that can go on in your mind, because all of this is a mind game. The water is nothing more than a meditation. It's all, the whole thing. The water, you have no nutrients and no calories. So what are you getting from the water? The only thing you're getting is the meditation. That's all it is to me. I think that, I mean, you know, people are like, well, what does the water do for you? And da-da-da-da, and you're going to, you know, you're going to need electrolytes and all these negative things they're saying. The water purely is the meditation. It's just for you to float on out on the sea and just be with yourself. That's to me the way I look at it. Because anytime you start eating, your body has to now start processing and breaking down and energy and levels and blah, blah, blah. But this way, I just feel like, so when he said that yesterday, that was so powerful, because it puts you back into control. You know, like last night there was like nothing but pots around here, and I was cooking and I'm serving people and everything, and I started putting stuff away like at 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, man, I could eat all of this right now. And I was just thinking about, actually I was thinking about the group, and I was like, I'm going to stay strong. And that was very helpful. And I did think about what Dr. Love had said. I thought that was really, really on point. So I'm muting.
That's good.
I just want one thing to say really quick. I mean, it is written down, and there has been studies through microscopes where, like, you can see that certain vibrations do change the patterns of water. Like, water does respond to energy, and what the dude was trying to say basically is just try to send as much positive vibrations towards your water as you can, and it's been working for me.
That's good. Thanks, guys, for that. And like we talked about earlier, our biggest battles throughout this journey are gonna be emotional. Okay. All of our lives, we've every time we get an emotional discomfort, what do? We reach for food. That's the primary thing that we've reached for. We either reach for when we're feeling stress, we bring offerings in. When we're lonely or when we're bored, especially when we're bored. I know I eat all the time, you know, when I'm bored. You know, we all have emotional and oral dysfunctions. Make no mistake about that. We just do. And our emotions are going to be the biggest challenge. But one way to overcome that is to, you know, if you got to get up and move, like go for a light, you know, a hike, a walk, or just continue to drink water. The breast milk of Mother Nature is water, and that will help flush out that discomfort for that period until it comes back again. Because until we hit around the 2-week mark, we're going to be on a roller coaster, sometimes very high and sometimes very low. I'm speaking from personal experience and from the experience of fasting quite a few people. So, you know, So again, I exhort, us to just stay strong mentally throughout this process. So are there any other comments before I go forward?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Doc, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, one other thing I wanted to say that was repeated several times by a few people yesterday was the entire group just coming together. It wasn't a random act. It was meant to be. It was sort of like synchronicity, and that was a thought that stayed with me yesterday too because of what Dr. Love said. If I wasn't in the group, I never would have heard that comment, and that comment was just unbelievable. I think that probably will change the course of my life as I approach fasting and detoxification for, as I live, continue to live. And and so what I think, even though we're in the early part of the fast, I think the element of spiritual awareness is something that's kind of coming to light as we do this fast. And
Mark,
I just wanted to see what other people think. I mean, that's another reason why I'm in the groups. I want to hear what other people are experiencing. So,
me,
what are your
Marcus,
thoughts along those lines?
me too. But I want to say something along with what you just said. First of all, thanks for sharing. I agree. Listen, I have been planning this fast for a long time with myself. I had no desire to do another group fast or to even make it public because I usually fast alone. I don't like telling anybody. And so the synchronicity, and I know there are no accidents. So I thank Sky for for pretty much blasting this out and make it into what it is. And I agree with you. I think the group energy and all of the new nuggets that we all get to share with one another is really going to benefit us. So I concur. If there's anybody else that want to add to that, feel free. Nobody else wants to add?
Yeah, I really have that we have a doctor here, happy that we have a doctor here, and like the awareness that he's bringing, like he sounds like one of us and not one of them, even though he's both, and it's great.
Well, it's funny you mentioned doctors. My son's mom is a medical doctor. She's been one for 10 years, and we go back and forth. But she's I think most doctors are great people. They have really good hearts, but I just think the way the system is and the way the indoctrination is in medical school and on up and everything, they're almost like, and then their financial house
It's
is
a business.
dependent upon a system that is doomed to fall, or overall it really doesn't heal anybody. So I think most doctors have good hearts. They just don't know. We just don't know what we don't know. And that's the main, and then indoctrinated for so many years. Food is supposed to be medicine, but we've turned to pharmaceuticals as medicine. And as we all know, pharmacy or pharmaceutical, it means poison maker. And it's like a Band-Aid. It'll make one sicker and sicker over time. I saw that when my mom recycled out from cancer years ago. So I just want to, you guys keep that in mind. Yeah, you're right. And I think that was Kevin who made that comment with regard to doctors. People are waking up, and so this is the age of Aquarius in the heavens and Leo on the earth. And what that means is that we're being called to purify our bodies so that we can be relevant in the new age to come. And then Leo on the earth, you'll hear people, light workers like myself, roaring truth throughout the four corners of the earth. The age of Aquarius, literally, full throttles in the year 2029, and we're the ground workers right now, putting things in place so that we can be ready. Because as you all know, life is becoming more extreme. There's a big gap that's getting wider and wider between the haves and the have-nots, between the people who know and the people who don't know, between the meek and the unmeek, the learned and the unlearned. Life ain't becoming easier. It's becoming harder. It's becoming easier for those who know and who are taking the time to purify. It's becoming harder and less comfortable for those who simply don't know. So take this knowledge while it's presented, because You got a window to act, and once that window is closed, you'll never. You don't know when it's going to reopen again. Now is the time to take this information and run. Now is the time to purify. This is the age. This is the time. This information isn't by accident. None of this is by accident.
Not at all.
Now's the time to honor the temple. In the last days, or in the new age, in the coming of the new age, the purification, the purging, and the perfecting of the house of God, or your body, is the most important thing. Be conscious of what you offer up into the temple. This is a new age. Back in the industrial age, or before the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, you probably could get away with eating certain things. You still paid the price in your body, but it's different now. We've got to purify. This is the Aquarian age of water, okay? The water bearer. And eating from the tree of life, that's critical. That's the age we're in, guys, and we have to get very serious about our bodies. Our bodies. That's it, because that's the whole bottom line. That's the temple of worship, or the temple of God, as some call it. So again, I don't mean to listen. I'm not trying. I definitely don't mean to come off as being preacher or anything. That's my listen. If it was me, I'd be doing this by myself. Okay, so don't take. I'm never pointing fingers. I'm never judging. I don't mean to come off as sounding preachy. I'm just trying to share information in the things that I know. I only talk about the things that I know. I'm not gonna never talk about anything that I don't know. There's about a zillion things that I don't know. I know 2 or 3 things, and I only talk about those 2 or 3 things. I know this living work. I know how certain things work, and I know why people suffer like they do. You have to start offering up offerings of light. We're children of light. Light meaning sun. Human. The word Hu means light or sun. Sun man. We're children of light. Got to purify. And that's what this process is, and there are no accidents. Just like the doctor said, he's right. You're right. This is synchronicity. This is real, because I don't think any of us saw this coming. I just don't. So I'm excited to be a part of this, because I feel that as we go on, we're going to become bonded, and this will lead to other things. So if there are any comments or questions.
Definitely not no accident, because like all
Kevin,
the stuff that you're preaching and saying, all this is, I say the same stuff. It's like you're repeating what I say to other people around me. I don't know. This is great. It's awesome. One love.
Kevin, is that you? I'm just going by the voice. Is this Kevin Preto?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Thanks for interjecting like that, man. Doc, I know you got something to say.
Well, I was just going to underscore what you were saying about the doctors. Most doctors have a lot of pride in their work, and they have a lot of passion. The money comes secondary. Most of them, if there's anything bad I could say about doctors, they're high-strung and egotistical, but we're bred that way. There have been a number of doctors in this culture and around the world who have discovered natural cures, and the system and the establishment absolutely destroyed those people, okay? So if you want to be a part of this profession, you have to go along to get along. You don't have free will to just come out here and recreate the wheel. No, it doesn't work like that. When you examine the American culture and perhaps some of the other societies, you're going to find out everything comes down to the bottom line and down to money, okay? If it's going to be profitable for the establishment, it's good. If it's going to go away from the profits, even though it may save lives, no one's interested in it, okay? And there's a doctor, Italian doctor. He's the last one that I know of that really got slammed. A guy named Simonetti out of Italy discovered the cure for cancer, which he said was baking soda. He thought the cause was candida, which sounded kind of odd, and he thought the cure would be to take a teaspoon or 2 in a glass of water and drink that and alkalinize your blood and get rid of the candida. And hundreds of patients came forward and said that it worked for them. He had the before and after proof, and they absolutely destroyed the guy, took his license away. He can no longer practice medicine. So that's the other side of the equation when you see these doctors not doing these kind of natural treatments. The difference with me is when I get sick, I don't care. When I get sick, I'm going to take care of myself and do what works. You know, there's nothing to sell to anyone else. And of course, I know physiology and pharmacology like the back of my hand. I've studied it. I've lived it. So I guess there is some synchronicity involved with me being here because you're hearing it from someone who's taken care of thousands of patients over the last 10 years. And fasting is probably, for my own purpose, the biggest problem I had was high blood pressure. I don't mind telling you that. I was on 3 or 4 medicines, and I still couldn't get the blood pressure to budge, okay? Then I realized I needed to expel the toxins. And next thing I know, I started to get control of my blood pressure again. So I think what happens for a lot of people is that when you have a buildup of toxins, you have a lot of inflammation in your bloodstream, and the blood becomes thickened and viscous, and your heart has to work twice as hard to maintain the same pressure, and that's why you have these elevated pressures. So fasting is the only way I know. If you continue to take medicines, you continue to build the toxins because they
Exactly.
all have toxic metabolites. They all have side effects. Okay,
Not to make
the only
it
way to fix the problem or to cure the problem is to expel the toxins.
That's
So,
it. Do you
so
mind if sorry, I was just going
I
to
think there's a lot of proof with fasting. Fasting's time tested. It's several thousand years old. I mean, eventually you'll get into it. You'll talk about how all the initiates of the mystery schools had to fast for 40 days. I think you maybe mentioned that already. They had to fast for 40 days before they could get involved. When the Greeks came along, Pythagoras and Plato, they had to fast for 40 days before their elders would teach them the ways, the ways, the esoteric ways, and so on and so forth. So I think it's always good for people to experience it themselves. You hear it from another person, and you say, all right, that sounds good. But when you experience it yourself, it'll change the entire course of your life. The other thing I would say, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and give you the mic back here, is fasting is the only thing that I know of that works on the spiritual level. I talked about physical illness, but there have been times in my life where I had bad breakups, or I had bad crises in my life. I couldn't sleep. My nerves were a mess. I didn't know that if I had fasted, I would have broken the storm and restored the calm. And that's probably the most important thing I would say beyond the physical is that it can heal you on the spiritual level.
Marcus.
I just wanted to say something here in regards to what you were in relation to what Dr. Meekins was talking about. First, if I may start, I just wanted to say thank you for the other day you mentioned about going out into the sun and getting some vitamin D. I don't know if you remember. And that really helped me today, and I wanted to thank you personally for that advice. I actually myself, I'm around a lot of technology at this moment in time, and I'm trying to, more than trying to, go on this journey of water fasting and detoxing, and it's everything all at once. So if I can start there. In saying that, talking from my personal experience as well, from relating to what you're saying, I just want to bring something to the table, if I may. When I was about 17, I had some stuff going on, and in relation to what you're saying, anyway, regards all that stuff in the past, I was on medication for, let me think here. I don't know how many years. From about 17, okay, to about 31, which I am now. So, and that was massive, So, I'm just saying I can relate to where you're coming from in that sense. But the reason why I interject in that case was because I am a big believer in the holistic well-being sense, and I'm not saying that you're not, and I'm not saying that anyone is here, and I'm not saying I'm not like in an attacking sense here in that comment of what I'm trying to say. It's just that coming from that background, from experience, from my own experience, personally, it was a real struggle. It was a real eye-opener. Yeah, it just it can be very damaging. I mean, I understand like the concept of what you were talking about research and the fact that it is important to maintain a healthy well-being, and that's what I like about what you said, and I wanted to thank you for that comment of yesterday about and that advice to go out into the sunshine again. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Well, you're absolutely welcome. But just so you understand, everyone has vitamin D in their body, but the active form gets converted in the sunlight. So that's why you want to go out into the sun and get the sun exposure. It actually converts in the sunlight. And I want to give you another gem. You're going to love this one if you love the other one. Take your water, take a large container of your water, and place it in the sun for 8 to 10 hours and let it charge in the sun. Then drink the water and watch the difference. You're going to be amazed at what that water does to your energy levels and your sense of well-being.
Okay, again,
Thank you, Doc.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Thank you.
Marcus, that was awesome.
I want to share. For me, this fast is more than just the health and wellness component, although it is a big part of it because I feel like I've lost control of my discipline. And I feel as though that is one part that I am working on with this fast is my ability to not overeat, pretty much. I really want to get that in control because, you know, I look at my life and I see that it's really good. And like, you know, I think my issues are so superficial compared to like the scheme of the world. But I watch Abraham Hicks, and the truth of life is joy, you know, finding joy. And I have really deep issues. Claire has been a witness because she was here with me in Puerto Rico. I have really deep issues of my appearance and how I look and how I feel about my body. And the crazy thing is I know what to do. I know how to do it. I know how to solve it. I know how to do the food. I know how to do the work. I know everything, but I have this big block in my brain of getting past it and moving forward. And, you know, I think it's addiction. It could be a lot of things. It could be just emotional. It could be, I don't know what it is. It could be a variety of things. But this cleanse, all these magic tips that y'all are giving, I'm about to go to the beach in a minute. I live around the corner from the sand. So I'm about to go out there with a big old blanket and just lay in the sun. I'm going to put my bottle of water out in the sun. I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to talk to my water. I'm going to do everything because, like, I have been trying to figure out what I should do. And I was talking to a friend of mine recently about this. And he said to me, the answer is fast. Fast, Scott. You know what to do. You've been fasting. What's the problem? And it wasn't until he said it that made me go, of course. Fasting is the answer for everything. Because for me, I know you've been talking a lot of spiritual and biblical and what have you, but for me, my third eye opens wide up. I start receiving information. I start hearing voices, okay? It's not crazy. But I'm highly intuitive. We all are. Some people are open, some people are closed. But I literally thought about someone yesterday and they magically appeared out of nowhere. And for me, I need to reconnect with that, you know? I mean, it's already starting and it's just 3 days. So I really need to, you know, stay true to this, work it out in my mind because, you know, what happens is just like how your palate cleanses. My mouth feels a little gummy right now. But as we start getting away, washing away the junk, you know, life gets clear, you know? Like, there's things I want to do. I have been saying this for months now. I do what I do on a regular basis, but I really don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what my day-to-day should be. I don't know what... I've created a lot of things. I've built up businesses, what have you, but I still don't feel what my purpose is. I'm still like, what the heck am I supposed to do with my life? I really don't know. And this is what I'm seeking while this is why I'm fasting. This is why I need the clouds to move. I need the clarity to come through, and I need that voice, whatever it is, even if it's my inner self, to really say aloud to me clearly and with strength, conviction, what the hell I need to do. Sky, this is what you need to do. Just sit down, girl. That is what I'm working on trying to achieve. Getting the shit out the way. That's pretty much what I'm working on. So I just wanted to share that because that's why this is important to me. And this group thing is magical for me because I consider myself a teacher, but I can't teach myself, honestly. I do well when I make a dish and I'm cooking and I'm preparing foods. I do better food when I'm showing you how to do it. You know, when I'm videotaping or I'm making it for someone else, it's all good. If I make a meal for myself, it might be just some crusty crap that I just decide to eat because I want to be lazy. But when I'm preparing food for other people, magic happens, and that's just how it is. So, back to mute.
Hey Sky, that was first of all that was awesome. I've sat and listened to you and everybody, and I'm blown. That's good. And like you said, your friend told you that fasting is the answer. You know, and I say this totally humbly or whatever. Over probably the last 5 years, I don't think anybody in all of social media, Facebook or whatever, has talked more about the magic of fasting than me, or raw food, fasting and raw food, and how it's important so that we can most of us are just so full of crap or full of shit, you know, we're just full of it. Literally from head to toe, we're full of it. And fasting and eating from the tree of life is the only way to get the stuff out so that we can hear, so that we can become clear to see, man, what's really because, you know, you could do something for a lifetime and make a lot of money from it and never be fulfilled and not even not even have a clue as far as what you should be doing. Okay? And fasting is the thing that gets us in a line with our true purpose. Now, what is our purpose? Our pure position. That's all it is. Our purpose is our pure position. That's it. There you go. There you have it. You know, that's what fasting will do for you. It just makes things clear and gets rid of all the obstructions. And it takes your life to a level that very few people will ever get to, because very few people understand it, are willing to perform it. And like I said before, this information has been under lock and key for many years. This is top secret. They don't want people to know about living temple work, because if that's the case, this whole system cracks and crumbles. It's on its way right now. It's inevitable. You just hurry up and get yourself in the ark. Get in the boat while the boat is here. And this will get you in the boat and keep you in the boat. Any questions, guys, or any comments? All is.
Yeah. I just want to say really quick, like, I pray for like none of us, including myself, to not get discouraged or too discouraged during this time, because coming from, like, you know, a grown man at that, you know, I feel like, you know, we're all feeling the same thing, like, you know, like I'm getting the same pains, you know, I'm crying, you know, I like all of that, like it's true, all of that, I'm getting all of this, and I feel that is that is everything in our animal spirit trying to hold us back, because animals get hungry, animals need food, so that's our animal spirit trying to pull us back into that, but everything in my Holy Spirit is telling me no. No, I have to get through this. Honestly, if I was to give in and try to eat something, I'd probably give up after 2 bites because I'd feel so bad about myself. So don't quit. We can't quit. We got this. Stay in tune with your Holy Spirit, not the animal.
Thank you,
Love
Kevin.
that. Yes, thank you, Kevin, too. Sorry, Christopher. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you're fine, dear. You're fine. I Thanks a lot, Kev. And you're absolutely right. And I think, again, that's one of the purposes of having the accountability of a group, because you'll feel like a dud if you if you we're all going to suffer through this. That's the price. That is the price. Okay, that's the price for the reward on the other side. And the reward, the harvest is absolutely great, guys. I've seen the harvest. The harvest is great. You're going to pay a little price to get there.
I think
Where
Christopher
did
got cut off.
Well, this is what happens when you're just given good information. Anyway, while he gets back in, we're not going to have the longest call today. Okay, I see he's joined back in. But I think that these calls should be, tight and fit, so that folks can continue their day. But, the wellness group on the online wellness center on Facebook, definitely join if you haven't. Feel free to share. Also, go in the files section. I have a library of books and videos in there that are free for you guys to download, and I'm looking for some more fasting books and some more information, because while you're doing this, if you have the time to read a little something, it's so empowering for your mind. So that's what I wanted to share. Another one thing that I thought just came to me was, I don't know if you guys notice how C-sections are the rave. I mean, women who don't even need a C-section to have a baby are opting for, they're asking their doctor to schedule the day and time when their baby is born. There's a video that I saw about, gosh, I can't remember. I'll remind me and I'll find the name of it. And there's something that happens when you give birth naturally. There's something that happens to the mother and to the baby when you give birth naturally. There is a process that happens to cleanse the squeezing of the baby coming out of the vaginal canal helps expel the fluids out of the baby's chest, which they've been in water, eating and what have you. There's just so many things that happens to the mother's womb, et cetera, from the whole thing. The point of the matter is the water fast is the same thing. Women look at the birth process as suffering. They look at the pain and the agony of pushing as a not cool thing to experience. So they want epidurals and all this stuff. I had 5 children. I gave birth to 5 children. I never had any intervention whatsoever. So I'm a superhero. No. But what I'm saying is, we need to stop being so microwavable. Like, everything is so easy. We don't appreciate life force energy and this whole, everything is just like, let me get the forceps and pull the baby out. Like, part of going without food is mentally a sufferation. Even if you tell people, they even feel bad for you. They don't see the joy in it. A lot of women specifically who have their cycle, this is what I tell women all the time. When they get their cycle, a lot of women, say I got my period, and they're like, oh, darn, crap. If they're in a group of other women, and they're like, I got my cycle, everyone feels bad for that person. And I'm trying to teach these ladies, this is a beautiful thing. This is what happens naturally. Let's give her a hug. This is awesome. It's not something to suffer. It's something to embrace. When I've had my first son in the hospital, that was the only time I had any child in the hospital. This wonderful nurse, all the nurses were mean to me, but this wonderful nurse said to me, think of what happens when he comes. Think of the magic. I was thinking about the pain. Okay, I was thinking about how painful this was, how I don't want to be here, hurry up, I'll take the epidural, get the anesthesia. I was like, get me out of here. I could not focus on the what I'm trying to achieve. Point of the matter, I'm trying to relate it back to what we're doing here. We can't necessarily think of it as suffering, but we also can't think of life as being so easy either. You know, oh, I'm just going to take these diet pills and, you know, drink this Slim Fast and lose weight, and, you know, like, we need to, like, look at ourselves and suffer so that we can appreciate and be grateful. That's how I look at this.
I totally agree, Scott. It's coming down to gratitude. Sorry, my mic. I think it's my levels over here. Yeah, I think it comes down to gratitude. Like, really, in the end of the day, it's just sort of like, it's an eye opener, you know. And I know what you're talking about, the third eye, because, you know, like, it opens, and to connect to the divine source is a true blessing, you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we connect with one another and we connect with ourselves within one another, well, let me retract that. So what I'm trying to say is, like, if we connecting with oneself, with the divine source and whatnot and all that sort of thing, you know what I mean, like, within one being, then when we become in tune with that, I feel anyway that we connect with one another. I don't know if anyone else has got something to say on that sort of topic of what Sky was talking about. And yeah, I agree.
And if not, guys, we'll wrap it up. Nobody has anything else. That was great. Thank you. And Scott, that was great what you said earlier. Also, it's awesome. 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 Awesome.
I got one thing.
Anybody else?
I got one thing.
Thank you guys so much. Be strong.
Hey, I got one thing. You hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yep, absolutely.
I got one thing, just one thing before we wrap it up, and or you wrap it up. And that's you know, if any of you, like, I firmly believe in the power of prayer. You know, you're basically, you know, you're sending out energy and receiving at the same time. I believe in the power of prayer. So I believe that it would probably even make it easier if all of us, or all of us that believe in the power of prayer, at least, you know, I'm not forcing nobody, but if all of us that believe in the power of prayer could take the time throughout these days coming up, and just pray for all of us to have, not to get through it, but pray for all of us to have the strength to get through it. And that's about it.
Oh man, thank you so much, Kevin. That's good. It's good advice, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really cool. Yeah.
It got all of you. To me, all of you are superheroes. Scott, you said you were superheroes for having 5 kids without taking any, you know, type of drugs or anything. You are. That was awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah.
All right, guys.
See you later. Peace.
See you later. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.